Welcome back to Underrated Movies. I'm your guy, I'm your man, Mr. Alton Henry. Today I would like to talk to you about another underrated film that came out this year, and, nobody saw it. And, it's actually pretty good. It's a pretty good movie, but I can tell you it's not a film everyone's going to really enjoy because it's very dialogue driven and talkative, and I'm talking about the spy thriller directed by Steven Soderbergh, BLACKBAG, starring Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender, Naomi Harris, Tom Burke, Pierce Brosnan, and this is your pretty much spy thriller that doesn't have really any action. I know that's probably the first thing you probably don't want to hear about when you mention spy, political thriller, espionage, and it doesn't have action, which, it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily have action. It's kind of like those throwback spy thrillers back in the day where it was very, it was more of a mystery thriller. It's more intelligently, plot-wise of, usually it's someone who's betrayed the agency and given information to their enemy, and they're trying to seek out who is it. And this is kind of what this film is. It's a very investigative kind of film condensed into 85 minutes of this what British intelligence British intelligence agent who, during a mission, is trying to figure out someone leaking information to an operation that they're currently on, and Michael Fassbender is given some intel that there is emo in the agency, and from the trailer is selling you on it. It is possibly his wife is a suspect, Cate Blanchett. And when you watch the film, it kind of has that Mr. and Mrs. Smith kind of vibe to it, but more retro 60s or 70s spy vibes. Even the music in this film is fantastic. And it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's slow, but it's very kind of laid back and detailed, dialogue driven. Who done it and where do I get the information kind of plot, which could be a bore to some. Normally these movies would be 2.5 hours. Kind of similar to Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. That was 2 hours, and it's kind of similar to that. But I don't know, that film's set in the 70s. It's kind of like that, but the film doesn't flash back from point A to point B in time narrative. It plays straight through. But you do have a lot of repetitive sequences of Michael Fassbender talking to a fellow agent about getting information. It could be him fishing, and it may not mean a lot, but it has some sort of notable meaning to it. Or it could be him meeting his friends, and he's usually talking to his colleagues, the people he's met around, has been hanging out with. There's actually quite a few good scenes here, and it shows the expertise on both characters, Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender, who's very good at really dissecting people's thoughts and minds to kind of get them to really say what they really want to say, and while they're trying to deny at the same time, to really get to the truth. And it's very interesting. There's a very good dinner scene that kind of happens early in the film. I think it's maybe 10 minutes. It's kind of a long scene where the scene kind of antagonizes two other characters who eventually do become suspects in the film, and you kind of see what their relationship and their dynamics kind of unfold, and it's very interesting. I thought it was one of the best written scenes I've seen this year, and then to kind of see how this particular scene foreshadows what happens later into the film I thought was genius. Because you kind of didn't expect it. And how the scene turns out, It's kind of like a Quentin Tarantino film, and it's kind of unexpected, but it's interesting to kind of see these spies, their personal lives kind of get intercrossed with this dilemma that they're facing and they're dealing with, which those characters are pretty much the centerpiece. I don't want to say centerpiece. They're the subject of why the plot has happened in the first place. And it's very cool. It's very fascinating. That's actually one of my favorite scenes in the film, and probably one of my favorite scenes of this year. And then to kind of bring that back a little bit later into the film, which is actually a very intense moment in the movie. The movie actually is very intense. It's just, since it's very talkative, I don't think a lot of people are going to like that in a spy film. But I do appreciate Steven Soderbergh's thinking a little bit when he's trying to do a film that feels like a throwback. It's like, you know what? I don't need to do I want to do this movie. It's kind of like a throwback, but I don't need to make it like 2 hours or 2.5. I'm just chalk it down to like 90 minutes to get to the point of what I'm trying to do, but do it in my style. And he nails it. He nailed it with Haywire. He nailed it with Side Effect, which is also underrated. If I ever see that film again, I'll talk about that. But this is a great film. It's available on Peacock. Why do they call it that? I mean, that's a stupid streaming service title. I mean, that's just me. They could use a better name. I don't know. They could use a better name for that. Anyway, this is great. This is a great kind of slow but low level, I wouldn't say low level, quiet cat and mouse game spy thriller. It does keep you guessing. It does keep certain parts interesting. Though I can understand this is not going to appeal to everybody. I respect Steven Soderbergh, man. He had this movie, and he had Presence, which not a lot of people liked. I enjoyed it, which I might talk about that film if I see it again. Though here, I do have one complaint though. This is not about the film. This is actually the not particularly the theater. But the movie's like 93 minutes. So it's like 89 minutes about an average of screen time. And the trailers for this movie, and I kind of was timing it a bit, they showed literally 30 minutes worth of trailers for an 85-minute film. Maybe they just needed to fill in that time to kind of match up with it doesn't matter. 30 minutes of trailers for a 90-minute film or less is ridiculous. I love watching trailers, but I never felt in my life I would get irritated just watching trailers to a feature-length film that's only 90 minutes. I'm cool with 5 trailers, maybe 6. But trailers that go on for like a half hour just to fill up time, and the movie says it starts at this time, but in reality 30 minutes later it's actually going to start at this time. It's insane, man. I was irritated. Like I never felt irritated in a movie theater like that before for trailers, and I love watching trailers. I actually had a vibe of wanting to walk out. Because it was ridiculous. It's like you paid 90 minutes to go watch trailers. Trailers are easy to access online on YouTube or anywhere else. So to release 30 minutes of trailers is insane. For a 90-minute feature, man, that's ridiculous. That was irritating. I just hope that never happens again. Ever. That's ridiculous. Yeah, but I do recommend this movie for anyone who's interested in spy films per se, or who are fans of Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. The average audiences may not like this film. Black Bag, have you seen it? Comment below, let me know if you have, and let me know what is your favorite underrated movie.